Hi. I am here because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the record that I've just realized came out 10 years ago, called Rook. It seems like a long time ago now, but I have a few objects here that were important in the making of that record, and I thought you might like to see them. One is this copy of this book, The Snow Leopard, by Peter Matheson, which I read around the time that the book came out, and which sent me down a deep rabbit hole of reading his books. And this is the copy that I had on tour with me during Palo Santo, and eventually I even got him to, I met him and got him to sign it. So there it is. And this book is so beautifully written, and it seems to hold sort of a great emotional weight and power, kind of lightly, and maybe a little obliquely or something. And I was trying to figure out how to make a record that would reflect some of the things I was feeling about the world of animals and plants and wildlife and all the other non-human life on Earth, and what seems to be happening to it, without being a real downer, or just a real downer. And that book seemed to sort of offer a kind of a way to do that in some ways. Also, though, when I started thinking about this, I saw an image from the artists Kahn and Selesnik in a magazine that I really loved of I think it was like a man sitting on a kayak wearing some sort of polar bear suit. In my mind, it was just a polar bear sitting on a kayak, but it was there was something about it that was both dire and kind of whimsical at the same time, and I got in touch with them because I wanted to see if they might want to work on the cover for the new record. And then I got this deck of cards that they made for a project called the Iceberg Freistadt, which is this exhibition that they made. It's hard to describe, but they're all artifacts related to this imaginary state that was constructed on an imaginary iceberg that crashes into Lübeck in the 1920s. And the deck of cards has, instead of spades, hearts, clubs, and diamonds, it has brambles, birds, icebergs, and I think factories. And the images on them are just extraordinary. They're nothing like any set of playing cards you've ever seen, but you could use them that way if you wanted to. But each suit actually unfolds into a panorama, or you can lay the cards end to end and it becomes a panoramic image. But Nicholas suggested that they take the king of their birds suit and make an album cover image out of it, which they did. And it was on their first attempt they made that Rook cover, which is still one of the most striking album covers I've ever gotten to have been lucky enough, striking images I've ever been lucky enough to work with for an album. So those two things I think were real, kind of at the headwaters of the thing. And then there was this guitar, which I played in the premiere show at Florence Gould Hall that we have a recording of on our Bandcamp, where we premiered all the songs from the record for the first time in order, which now when I think about it was kind of a crazy thing to do. But I was so nervous trying to do that show. And Michael Girard opened the show too, which is probably the most intense opener I've ever had at a show. But this guitar was the one that I wrote a lot of the songs for the record on. I guess almost all of them, really. The ones that weren't piano based. And it's... I've probably changed the strings on this about 3 or 4 times since then. It's just, I almost never change them. And I haven't recorded this guitar in a little while, but I still love it and I love to play it. So I thought I'd commemorate the 10th anniversary by playing one of the songs from the record. I was a cloud, I was a cloud looking down. Your frantic waving did not provoke a feeling, but this little world. I remembered her. And in the dark, from the sea marble and moon, to the burning eye of the sun, without feeling, when I was everything. I remember that fear for your home, sparrow. Fear for your home. And there was this piano, sort of drifting piano stuff under it that Howard recorded. So, happy 10th anniversary, Rook. And if you're interested in hearing that live recording, it's on our Bandcamp. And if you want interested in the album, you can get it, I think, from Matador. Oddly enough, that's one of the few records of ours that I don't even have a copy of. I don't know why. I think I gave them all away. So, if you're still listening, thank you. And it's been nice to walk down memory lane with you a little bit, and we'll see you out there somewhere someday. Take care.